Hey guys, how's it going? Mark from Double Clutch Auto Reviews here. Thank you for tuning in for another video, and I hope you're having a great start to your 2021. So I've been thinking about this for a long time. I really wanted to make a newly edited version of my first original video for my channel, the 2019 Suzuki Jimny review. And to my surprise, it was actually very successful with over 20,000 views in the first few months, which I thought was insane for a brand new YouTuber. So you would think I would be very happy about that, right? In a lot of ways, absolutely yes, but in some ways, not so much. Unfortunately, I got a lot of negative feedback and comments about it. And the reason for that was, I think, mainly because I made a very naive and uninformed comment about how the mechanical door locks work. I was unaware that if you lock the door from the inside of the car, then step out and hold the outside door handle while you close the door, the lock will actually stay locked. And if you just close the door without holding the handle, the lock will actually pop itself back open. And this is by design, and it's actually quite brilliant because it prevents you from accidentally locking your keys in your car. I didn't know any better about this feature and the brilliance behind it while I was making this video, and you guys gave me a whole lot of grief about it in the comment section. And some of you might not think so, but it actually really bothered me that I made such a big, silly mistake on my first ever video for this channel. I feel like I made myself look like a fool, and I just wanted to correct it, and I feel like this is the best way to do it. I even actually tried editing the original video that was already on YouTube, but I couldn't figure it out to do it the proper way because I'm either an idiot or it's just not possible or whatever it may be. Either way, I just wanted to publicly say that I wholeheartedly admit that I was completely wrong about that design feature, and it is actually quite brilliant, and now I know better. And in the future, if you guys notice something that I say that's completely incorrect, call me out on it. Let me know in the comments, please. I'm not saying you have to be an absolute jerk or a troll about it like some people were, but you know what? It is what it is. No one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, especially me. Call me out and let me know. I think I'm a pretty reasonable person. I'm certainly not perfect. None of us are. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And we are always learning new things every day. So just let me know. I'll gladly correct myself and we'll move on. And I'm not just talking about opinion-based stuff. I'm talking about hardcore facts like the door lock mechanism, for instance. I'm just starting off with this YouTube channel as a hobby, and I'm putting a lot of effort into it, and I want to work really hard to help it grow. So please, if you don't mind, just cut me some slack on that. If there's a problem, correct me, I'll acknowledge it, and we'll move on. Problem solved. And I also want to acknowledge that the version of the Jimny that I tested in the review video was the rental car version, the most budget version that they made probably. And I know that there are other models for sale in other countries to the general public that are much more equipped with way better features. But I want you all to know that I still had an absolute blast driving it all over Costa Rica, and I wish they sold it here in the United States. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoy this newly edited version of my first original video, the 2019 Suzuki Jimny review. And here's to many more videos coming in the future. Hope you all have a great day. Take care and thanks for watching. Buenos dias everyone. Mark from Double Clutch Auto Reviews here. We are here in beautiful San Jose, Costa Rica with the Suzuki Jimny! I have to say, so far, I love this car. It's been super fun to drive. It's so weird and quirky, and let's check it out. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the all-new 2019 Suzuki Jimny, 4th generation. It's powered by a 1.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine, making 101 brake horsepower and 96 pound-feet of torque. It is estimated to start around $17,500 US MSRP, or around 15,500 euro. This particular model has a 5-speed manual transmission, 4-wheel drive. It is a 3-door 4-seater and is rated for 41.5 average miles per gallon. Okay, first impression of the car. I love it. This car is so weird and quirky. I love it. It's great. Super fun to drive. So just driving around Costa Rica in and of itself is an experience, I have to say. There are so many different cars here that we don't have in the US. It's just so crazy to see all these different vehicles that we don't have. Even cars that we do have, the versions that they have here of them are totally different names, and it's very cool to see. What's actually hilarious is this is the first 2019 car I've ever driven in another country, and a model of a car that they don't sell in the US, which I think is pretty funny. This car is a pretty interesting blend of modern and old school. There are no power anything, manual locks, manual windows, manual transmission, manual everything, manual seats obviously, but the interior, it's nice looking. I think it's pretty cool. Nothing fancy, but this is a cheap, rugged 4x4 type of economy car. It's like a little mini Japanese Jeep. It's hilarious. The clutch catches super early. I almost stalled it when we first got in it. This car actually has hill descent control, which is a pretty cool feature for a car like this. The transmission is surprisingly smooth. It goes into gear very well, very smooth. It's notchy. It doesn't. There's really no wiggling. And once you're in gear, it's solid transmission. I'm very impressed. So one thing I noticed that I don't like, the car at idle seems to be randomly shuddering while we're sitting here at idle, which is a little unsettling for a brand new car, but Suzuki props, you know. Oh, and another thing, the seatbelt warning noise when you don't have your seatbelt on. Let me demonstrate. And it doesn't stop. I guess they want you to be safe in this car and always wear your seatbelt. Never mind, I take it back about how composed it is in turns. This thing leans. We just took a 90-degree left-hand turn and this thing was like, woo! One thing about this car that people would probably not enjoy is there's a lot of wind noise and the sound insulation is very minimal. You can hear everything. And people could probably hear us talking right now if they were right outside the car. It's like a tin can, but it doesn't bother me. But hey, it's kind of what you're expecting when you buy a vehicle like this. It's kind of the whole personality behind it. Woo! So acceleration. Definitely not fast. However, for what it is, the car moves. It has enough power for the weight of the vehicle, I would say. I can't lie. This thing gets a little squirrely when you're getting up there in speed. I love the style of this car. It really speaks to me. I love its quirkiness. It's so boxy and just looks like it's ready to take on the world. And my little Suzuki Jimny is just ready to go. The Jimny also appears to be pretty good on gas. We've been driving a lot so far. I think we've put about, I don't know, at least 200 or 300 kilometers on this thing since we got it from the rental car place. It was at full for the gas gauge and now it only went down 1 bar out of about, looks like 14 bars. So it seems to be doing really well so far. Sorry, I lied. 10 bars. 10 bars on the fuel gauge. If this thing is as good as my Suzuki Vitara is off-road, I'm sure this thing's a beast. Probably take on anything in this car. It's so light and nimble. I'm sure it just dances over anything. Another thing that this car does not have, which it really should, especially for being in 2019, it doesn't have cruise control, which on a long ride would be nice, I have to say. I guess if you're getting this car for a good deal, if it's really cheap, I mean, I'm sure it's very reliable in the long run. It's a Japanese car. If you're using it for daily driving around the city and whatnot, you're not taking it on really long trips, you're gonna use for your errands and whatnot, I feel like it would be fine, because you don't really need all these creature comforts if you're not spending very, very long amounts of time in the car. But for a long trip, I definitely would appreciate some cruise control. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a like, would really appreciate it. Also, please consider subscribing, helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Peace. Okay, ready? No exaggeration. Look at this. Minimal effort.